Alright guys, welcome back to the channel once again, and in this video we're gonna be talking about the Google Cloud Run. So actually in the previous couple of videos we talk about the BigQuery and we learn about how we can control the costing and how we can optimize so that we can query the data and all those things. But in this video we actually gonna be learning how we can deploy the services to the Google Cloud Run. So there are multiple ways to deploy the things, like deploy the services on the Google Cloud, but there is one way which is like easiest and very cheapest way, so that you can use the Google Cloud Run and then you can just easily deploy your services and you don't have to manage a lot of things on the cloud side. It's like you just deploy the services, and you can also connect multiple automatic process so that you can just push your code and it can be deployed, or you can connect with Jenkins or other things and then you can just trigger the pipelines and it can be deployed. So similar to the Kubernetes, but there's like if you have multiple services and you want to manage it, so you can use Google Cloud Run. That's the easiest way. Otherwise, if you want to manage by yourself every single configuration, so you can use Kubernetes, and there are other ways to deploy like compute engine. So if you talk about the Google Cloud Run, so it's like it's a serverless feature. It's just provide you can just connect your containers, or you can connect your GitHub repo, so it can make the container and then connect the build with the service, and then you can just deploy it. And you can also manage .yaml file for the services, so you can just deploy by that, or you can just manually configure everything on the Google Cloud and then you can just deploy it. So there are other features as well for connecting the custom domains with a Google Cloud Run, so directly you can connect as well. You don't have to use load balancer or VPC accessor or something like that. But if you want to connect with load balancer and then you want to switch the load between the services, so you can use you can use those methods. But directly connecting the domains, it's like easy. You just have to select the public IP and then it can just connect it. So we're gonna be talking about all those things, and there are many other things that we can talk. So we're gonna be discussing everything into the Google Cloud Run, and then I'm gonna be showing you live demo on the Google Cloud platform, and then we're gonna configure everything by ourselves. Okay, so let's go to my screen and then let's check it out. And I'm gonna be just giving you brief overview about the Cloud Run into this video, and then in the next video we're gonna be actually deploying the services and making the container, and then I'm also gonna be explaining how you can push your code to the Google Cloud artifact manager, and then from there you can connect the build. It's like that. Okay, let's go to my screen and let's check it out. Alright guys, as you can see my screen over here, this is the Google Cloud platform, and there are many options over here. You can select any of them, go and check the features, but we're gonna search about the Cloud Run over here. So we go Cloud Run and we come Cloud Run over here, selected. So this is how the page look like for the Cloud Run. So how you can deploy services, you can deploy by container, and you can connect your repository directly from GitHub and it can be deployed, or you can create a job, create a batch job, background worker pool or something like that. So it's like a cron jobs and run, so you can do it. What services you can use: Node.js, Python, Golang, and Java, PHP, and .NET, Ruby, all those like different kind of stack you can use, and you can easily deploy it. So it's like you just have to put a Docker file into your service, and whenever it comes to like whether you connect by GitHub repo or whether you just directly build your container on your GitHub side or wherever your code is deployed, and then that build will be directly connected with your deployed to artifact, and artifact you can just choose from the artifact and deploy the container over here. Artifact is nothing else, just same like ECR in the AWS or like Docker Hub. So it's like in the Docker Hub or in the ECR, Elastic Container Registry of AWS, you keep your Docker builds. So same like that, artifact as well, you can keep your Docker build over there, and then after that you can choose your Docker build and connect it to the services. So if you go over here in the services, so here we gonna be seeing all the listed service, whatever you're gonna be creating, and you're gonna see some metrics over here like deployment type, what is the type of deployment, requests per second, how many requests per second came on your service every day, and region, like which region is deployed, authentication, no authentication, ingress, like the security, what is the inbound security, and last deployed and deployed by, all those things like options, all those like metrics you're gonna see over here. Okay, so if you want to deploy a container, so you can just select, or connect a repo, you can kind of select. So if I deploy container, I came over here in the deploy container, also you're gonna see the option. So you want to choose this service as a cloud function, so you can just click this one, and if you just want to connect with the GitHub or somewhere, so you can just select this one. Or if I go to artifact registry, so I have to go over here, select the container URL. So if you would be having any container, so you can just you're gonna see all those listed containers. Otherwise you can just select hello and then select it. So it's gonna come over here, and then I will just select any of the region which is like which is I think like it's useful for me, so where my server should be. So it's like that. Otherwise I can just select like Asia Pacific, so it's like Mumbai. Okay, I can select Delhi as well, so it's in Delhi, so I can just select Delhi and then allow public access. access. So if I make allow public access, so it's gonna be publicly available and it's gonna create the public IP as well. And if I keep require authentication, so it's gonna require the authentication as well. Minimum instance you can just keep one. Authentication means like if you are giving access to your Google Cloud platform to someone else and they're providing access to access this service, so they can access this service, and then whenever the service is deployed, so they will see the authentication page, Google authentication page, and then they can log in and directly then they can see that service. It's like that internal access of your company. Otherwise, allow public access, so anyone can hit that request, and if you are like whatever the authentication process you have internally built inside the service, so it's gonna follow that. Otherwise, directly people can hit that and request will go to the service. And this one is like by authentication. You can see, so select between identity and access management, IAM, and identity aware proxy, just like that. Okay, so don't get confused about it. So minimum you can keep like one, and maximum instance you can like define over here 100 or 200, whatever. Otherwise it's up to you. And all, if you select, so all like it's gonna be all. And if you want to keep internal, so you can just allow traffic from external load balancer. So you have to create load balancer and then you can just select it. But for doing that, you have to have the VPC accessor connected. So what is VPC accessor? I'm gonna tell you about that as well. But just for that, just keep remember the name. Otherwise, just we can just make it for all from internet, and then it gonna create public endpoints so that you can hit those endpoints directly and you can access the service. Okay, now we go inside the container. You have to select the port. So port is like I'm gonna keep 8000. Okay, you can keep any whatever the ports you want to. If you have secret variables, so like .env file, so what you have to do, just copy all the variables and then paste it, like control all variables from the .env file and paste it over here into this. It will automatically list those all the values into this one, and then every field will, like every single variable will have their own field, like name one, value is like that. So you can do that. And if you want to add extra container, so you can add it, otherwise just remove it. So it's like that. So here you can just do a networking. So in the container you just have to do that container command. If you want to have like something, you have container command like for running, so you can add it, otherwise leave it empty is fine. Otherwise it's gonna throw you some errors. So I'm just gonna keep it like this. Variable secret, no. And volumes, like volume mounts as well, like if you have some file or something in there, like it's the different kind of that existing volumes or some secrets you want to mount. So it's like mounting a volume file, so you can mount it over here. And let's go to networking. So in the networking, actually you're gonna be doing like how the service should communicate. So if you want to connect with VPC, so your service will not directly accessible from the internet, so service will be accessible via the VPC. So you can just connect the VPC and network, which network you, if you have a VPC created, so that VPC will show down over here, and then you can connect the VPC, select the VPC, and then it's going to be connected. We're going to be look at everything, but I'm just going to give you the overview about the input configurations over here, and in the next upcoming scenarios we're going to be doing all those configuration manually. Okay, so you can select route all traffic to VPC like over here, and then you have to select the VPC, which VPC you want to route it, and then it will be selected. Okay, like that. Security is like service account with service account. So my default service account is this one, and then I will do it. Network is like I just deselect this one. Okay, and then I come over here security, so that default security, and then cloud managed encryption. So I don't have like my own encryption key, so I will just let it be, the Google can manage it for me. Okay, so that's it. And if I try to create it, so it should work. Make sure all field connected. So let's see where the error come. Allow public access, and then it should create it. So if I create, and it should be created. Let's see. If you guys don't understand anything, and if you have any doubt about it, you can just comment down. I can directly help you. There's no any problem. I'm not going to be replying something like that. I'm going to be directly help you, and we can connect and then sort it out. Okay, so the service is deployed. You see completed, and then observability, you can go over here, check the logs, and then if you see any error in the logs, so you can just resolve it. If even your service is completed, but if you have like any service logs, so it's gonna be showing over here, and then your request will not be successful. So it's like this, and then let me check like URL. So you got this URL, okay, and if I take this URL and try to hit it over here, let's see, it should be working. So see, it's running. Hello. So this like by default app, which is from Google side, so Google gives you just by default app, so it's like it's running. See, congratulations, you successfully deploy, continue image to cloud run. So it's like that. Okay, and I'm gonna take this down because I'm not gonna keep it running, but it's like this. So that's how it is, and this is the YAML file actually. And if you want to edit directly in the YAML file, you don't have to do all the configuration like find it and do it, you can just read about it into the Google Cloud Docs, and then you can do the configuration over here. Everything you can do, annotation, it's same like the deployment.yml in the Kubernetes, is similar to that over here. Okay, so I hope you guys learned something from this video. In the next video, we're going to be actually creating our Node.js application, and we're going to be trying to deploy over here. Let's meet in the next video and let's talk about it. So till then, tata, bye bye. Thank you so much. Bye bye.